Good morning, one and all. I hope you're good. I hope you are well. Welcome back to Cockerel Doodle Do, your Tottenham Hotspur show. I'm just trying to find the bloody photo to get rid of it. There it goes. I could not find it, but I did. Hope everyone is good. Hope everyone is well. I will be joined by 3 guests. I'm just waiting for Ellie to come. But at the moment, I've got a pretty good front 2 up top. So first of all, Lewis, how are you, brother?
Not bad, mate. Not bad. How we doing, bro?
All good, man. All good. And my partner in crime on these breakfast shows, Johnny, how are you, good sir?
I'm winning, guys. This is the answer. Huh? If you want revenge on the fly, right, this is the stuff. Unfortunately, I think it's got revenge on me, right? I've had a headache for about 3 days. Yeah.
And they got is that a fly one or is that something else? Ain't they got a blue one?
I don't know, man.
I'll buy a blue one.
You know what Johnny is?
I'm
He knows
probably using the wrong one because these.
Yeah, that's probably it. Johnny, I think you're doing a good job. We are looking for sponsorship, and that's just hold that up a bit longer. And oh, we've got our other guest here. Let me bring in the Queen.
Hello.
Queen Ellie, how are you doing, darling? You okay?
I'm all right. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Right, you say good morning to everyone. Let's just say good morning to everyone. Scott Bootle, 2 in the house. Good morning to you, Rob. And I wouldn't put it past us that we signed Boris Johnson instead of Brennan Johnson. That would not surprise me in the slightest. Andreas, thank you very much indeed for the kind wishes and good, very early morning or midnight in Metzcar. I can't remember my time zones. I'm so messed up at the moment with I always work everything out to Toronto time. I think it's the same time as Toronto. The 5 hours behind. But big up and thank you for the well wishes. DJ Greenella, big up, my friend. Why is the chat? There we go. It's been a bit slow. Who else we got in the house? We've got StreamYard's being a pain bringing comments up. Fantastic. We've got Ryan in the building. Don't do it today, my friend. I've got a lot to say. Rachel, we will sort it out next week, darling. We will sort it out next week. I never know if you're going to be up at this time. Blissy is in the house. Good morning. Darius, Ian Carpenter, otherwise known as Evergleaning, Christian. We have got, who else is in the house? We have got Elvis 5K dude is back in the business building. I was back in the business. Good morning once again, Colin. I hope you're good. Sean, big up. Jade Flower, Tempest Fusion, and J-O-J, I think that says J, my eyes, JJ and
yeah.
And go on, Johnny, how do you say that name? Kookaburra.
Well, he's going to Kookaburra.
And
Big Daddy Shin.
Daddy Shin, right.
And Colin
I think you might need to, in the morning when my eyes haven't adjusted, I think you might need to take over with that. Right, so much to talk about today. We've got so much to talk about. What we're going to start with is obviously transfers. And there's 3 we're going to talk about in particular. First one is obviously going to be about Brennan Johnson. And this deal, by the looks of it, is edging closer and closer and closer as we speak.
Calm yourself, Colin. It looks like Colin.
It's going to be, it's looking more like the 50 million. Maybe players are coming involved. And I said yesterday, I like the player, but I don't get the transfer. And now I'm not getting the valuation. 50 million, when we wouldn't put this sort of chunk of change down for Tapsoba or Orban or others, but all of a sudden, 50 million is being handed out. We're led to believe. Got to say, led to believe. I just don't get any. I think there's something going on right here. I don't understand this transfer. What about you, Ellie?
I don't know. He's only going to bring a certain amount of goals to our club, so I don't get it why he's valued so highly. I would say 30 mil would be more fair, or 25, 30 mil at max, because he's not as. That's half the money we gave for Kane. That's what you really have to put it in perspective,
Yeah.
For a little bit of speed in the team.
Ellie, I think you're lagging a bit, Ellie.
Am I?
Not for me.
I think you
Good
might
to
be.
see you, Byron. Good to see you,
Okay,
mate.
then please don't be me. Go on, Lewis, you go.
You already know. You already know my instance. I think Brennan Johnson's a good player. You can see. I understand why. You got to remember, the whole world and their dog and their pet fish and their pet horse or goat or whatever knows we just sold Kane for 100 mil. So if they want 30 mil for him, they're going to put another 20 mil on top. It's just like if someone came in, if West Ham came in for one of our players, you're going to be sitting there saying, slap another bit of money on top. They just got 105 mil for Declan. So they're always going to slap money on top. English tax, and everyone knows we just got 100 mil for Kane. What do you expect? If that's what it costs,
there we go.
Bring him in.
Johnny, off you go, son.
I don't know. I thought they were talking about Brendan Johnson, the actress. I didn't know for a start. I thought it was some sort of joke. Look,
it's all about Boris.
Boris. Listen, Johnson. Look, his dad was a good player. For those who might know, for the younger crowd. But 8 league goals, 11 goals in total, 3 assists. What I think Ange wants here, what I'm led to believe, is that what he wants is a utility striker. And what I mean by that, he can play left, he can play right, and he can play as an attacking midfielder. So, you know, if you have injuries and stuff like that. But, and also, next to Kyle Walker, he's the second fastest player in the Premier League last season. I think 36.7 kmh, right? So it's the pace, maybe. But I think the pace is much better used often with when you're playing the counter-attacking football, not so much possession football. I don't know. I just don't understand the 50 million, 45 million. I would have liked to sign Anthony Gordon last January when we were looking at him, because for me, he's got great trickery, great feet, and he's got the pace. I think he's got a lot more to his game. Look, the thing is, Brennan Johnson is only 22, so, you know, he's still developing, but his first touch is not great. His successful completion rate, I think, is something like 61%, which is quite poor. Yes, he can develop. Is he £50 million? For me, no, I'm sorry. He's not a £50 million player. And, you know, if we are swapping the Deadwood, Brian, then it's a good deal. But what Deadwood? I don't want Davinson Sanchez going, right? Why?
Yeah.
Because if we get an injury, he's the only one that can play Ange ball, right, with his pace. So that makes absolutely no sense to me at all to offload him. The only ones would be Tanganga, Oliver Skipp, Dyer, and Tanguy. Other than that, you know, I don't see the value. If you're giving away, I don't know what you guys think, but you know, if you're giving away a couple of those guys and 10, 15 mil, fine. But if that's going to be our man, and we're not going to buy an out and out striker, and we're not going to buy another centre back, I'm raging.
I agree.
Okay. So first of all, before I talk any more about it, she's put it in here, so I'm going to talk about it. If anyone is wanting football kits but do not want to pay Premier League prices or whatever prices for whatever league it is that your club is in around the world, you need to go to my adopted little sis and fellow Levy out nut, Rachel, on this very group. It's a private group. If you want to be added to the group, please reach out to me directly on Facebook. Send me a DM or a messenger, whatever you want to call it, on Facebook, or if you or send me a DM on Twitter, and I'll get you added to the group. And the reason I mention it as well, because of Rachel's love for Tottenham on tour, what they will be doing is I'll be discussing with her and her husband, or a partner, Stuart, a special discount code for anyone that goes and will use a certain code that comes from Tottenham on tour. So The code and the discount price or the offer is yet to be decided. But if you are looking for a kit for yourself, your children, family members, reach out to me privately and I'll get you into Rachel's group. There you go, Rachel. How was that for a little ad for you? So yeah. Now back to it. So like I said, I have to keep repeating when I say this. Yeah, Rachel doesn't sell Raider
I can't
speakers.
forget our main sponsor. Sorry.
So like I said, I like the player. I do really, really like the player. I'm finding this all very, very strange. If you look at it as well, we're sitting here. I think it was you, Lewis, and I'll come to you first, that mentioned the Declan Rice deal. And look what West Ham have done with that money. Ward-Prowse, the guy from Ajax, can't remember his bloody name. And they've got another, thank you. And then the other player they've gone and spent that money very wisely, with real quality. And it's like, there you go. We sold our star. We sold our star. The guy's been carrying us for years.
They've done better.
This is what we're going to do. And they've done it. And here we are with a day to go. Oh, no, sorry, not a day to go. I'm getting excited there. 3 days to go. And we've still got that money sitting in the bank. What's your thoughts, Lewis?
I don't think we're bringing anyone in.
Yeah, you've been saying this for a while.
I think we're done. I think Levy's banked that money and he's running to the bank, mate. What was it? What was that game show he used to play where they used to go around and they used to go bank? I can't remember what it was called now. It was on
Around the castles.
No, not that one.
What it was called? I'm a bit older than you.
Round the castle. My God, if that was even a show, that was way before
We're
me.
doing nursery rhymes.
Yeah.
No, that's it. Weakest link.
Weakest link. You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Weakest link.
I don't believe we're bringing anyone in. But hey ho, remember we're going to bring we're always, as I said yesterday, we are only Van der Ven being injured and Romero being a suspension, because we all know Romero likes to get booked, from seeing the classic Dyer and Sanchez at the back.
Dyer and Davis, if Sanchez goes.
He ain't getting
Go on, Johnny.
He ain't doing no business.
Look, the thing is here, guys, just to say, look, these are our opinions, okay? Everyone has got opinions. That's why these streams are so good, because it's all about opinions. We have different guests on with different opinions. We will get it wrong at times, okay? And you guys who are out there listening or watching, you'll get it right and we'll get it wrong, or you'll be wrong and we'll be right. But that's what makes the show great. So when people come back and say, you've got it wrong and he got it wrong, right? Yeah, because that's what's going to happen, right? Because that's what we're here for, to digest it and talk about it. But for me, I would rather have Johan Bakayoko from PSV. He's less money. He's 20 years of age. Again, quick. I think he's scored 8 goals and 6 assists. I would rather take a run on that. Look.
Brentford have moved for him now, ain't they?
Pardon?
Brentford have moved for him now.
They've killed it.
Yeah.
They've killed it.
So this is what I think Brentford. So you led me on to my next thing, Lewis, which was I think Brentford have actually screwed us, right? They forced the price up, pretending that they were in for it, for Johnson. They were never going to bid the money for Johnson. And then they go after the guy who we should have been going after. Quick right turn, nip in and buy him from PSV. And Spurs are left paying 50 million for a player they never wanted. A bit like Man City did with Arsenal. Right? Because I would rather have Johan Bakayoko than Johnson. That's my personal opinion. Could be wrong.
Okay.
Bakayoko Timothy.
Okay. Ellie.
Yeah.
Ellie, give me your opinion. And whilst you're doing that, I'm going to quickly sign out, run upstairs, because I think it's my internet that's playing out. I'm going to sign out and I'll be back in 30 seconds. All right.
Yeah.
So just tell
All
people
right.
what you're
Well,
thinking, and I'll be
Right,
right back with you.
I'll be timing you. Right. I just feel there must be something in this player that our manager Ange likes, because otherwise we wouldn't be going heavily for him, and we're like heavily in the deal now, aren't we? We're right in there. So I think maybe he feels that he can work with him. You know, he's seen that he's pacey, and like Kulu is not that pacey. So maybe he wants him as a substitute for Kulu. I don't know. Maybe he wants to drop Kulu. You don't know what our manager's thinking.
But
But
Ellie,
one thing's for sure. One thing's for sure.
Yeah.
One thing's for sure. Just one moment, Johnny. One thing's for sure. If Ange feels that there's a player there, and he's very good at picking players, we've seen it at Celtic. He picks little peaches and turns them into crystal. You know, like I feel that there must be something that he's got. I'm looking at his stats, right, and they're not that impressive. But maybe he thinks he can mould it to more impression, so that he can help our club in different ways that we might be thinking. Yeah.
do you think though,
So
Ellie, I was
yeah,
going to ask you, Ellie, like, can you see though £50 million on someone you've got to develop with bad stats, or 50 million Levy spending £50 million to sit on the bench? I've never, in all
I
my time,
know.
never known Levy to spend 50 million, even if it's including players, to sit on the bench. The only way this deal makes sense to me is somehow he gets rid of 2 players that are deadwood, that were going to be here, that he was going to have to pay out millions in wages, where he can get a player in for, say, 20 million, actually pay out 20 million, and actually have an asset of 20 million pound that could
Yeah.
potentially, in a couple of years' time, at 24, 25, be worth 50, 60 million and actually make a profit on. Because otherwise it does not make sense. I don't know what anyone else thinks, but
What you're saying then? What you're saying then, Johnny? He's a scapegoat. He's a scapegoat for our deadwood.
I'm saying, yeah. Well, I'm saying that he can get rid of his deadwood, use that deadwood to get out, drop the wage, drop any loss that he was, the problem he had, and bring in a player who's got potential, that he could, the value of that player could rise over a period of time. Because otherwise, I just can't, see how he's going to spend 50 million. Look, I don't doubt Johnson's got potential. We all know he has potential, right? And he has moments where he's really good. Not a problem, right?
Cooper has hit it right on the head. I have to say,
but we're
Cooper,
not giving him Cooper. We're not saying he's not. We've already mentioned he's lightning quick, right? And money doesn't matter if he's the right fit. Okay.
No, no. With that, he's kind of right. Especially with I can't remember who it was. It was a comment a little while ago where someone said about how desperate we are for homegrown. Those things make sense, but I am going to add something here. And it's a comment one of my friends said on Twitter, and it's quite a few people are saying it as well. Not through my friend, but other people just rewording it the way they see it. Ange said himself when Harry Kane left that we knew that this was going to happen, being Kane, off you go.
Exactly.
And that we'd known this for a while, and Johnson was the number one target. So why, if they knew he was going to go and they were aware of this, has it taken till now? That's and there's quite a few people saying it's like, if people really want to think, yep, he was the number one target, he was the one that he. And don't get me wrong, if Ange says he is, then he is. Fair play. I'm fine with that. But if you knew Kane was going, and you knew you were going to get another, you need another forward in. Why is the number one target of Ange only been targeted now?
This is what I tweeted this morning as well.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. Go on, Ellie.
No, I was going to say, our club, how notoriously slow we are. We're like snails. Like if you had a picture of Spurs, instead of the cockerel, they should put the snail on us. because we act very slowly on everything we do. Like the only one we acted quick on, in a way, was Madders, but that's because of the ceiling of the player. We needed to get
Yeah.
in quickly before anyone else nipped in and got him off us. So I applaud the club for that, but you've got to take the applause away for how slow they are at doing business.
You're right. You're right. And
This
before I go
comment
to
here,
this
Brian.
comment is bang on.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
going to say it's bang on the money. It's
But let me
bang
just
on the
say,
money.
Look, guys, we're not underestimating here. You've got to give balance here, right? What we're trying to say here is this is alien to all of us that Levy drops £50 million on a player that's likely to sit on the bench, right? Because Kulu doesn't look like he's being dropped anytime soon. You know, we've already said he's explosively quick. We also know that he's got great potential. But 50 million on potential is alien to Levy, considering the prices we play for others. Now, if you were going to compare him to Ansu Fati, there is no comparison for me. Ansu Fati.
Yeah, I have to say, Johnny, just cutting you off there. Sorry, and I'll let you carry on.
Yeah.
Boxing Hotspur 57, who is on fire today with comments, actually, and actually really making me think about certain things. He's bang on the money here again. He's literally bang on the money with what he's saying here. So I think, like you said, Johnny, like I said before I don't know why my internet is so much better up here than
I've been
watching
downstairs. This. I've been watching Bowen, Eze, and Bowen and Eze and Watkins for a long time. But
yeah, but he's
I
right.
don't rate Watkins.
He's right. Boxing 57 is right. He is right. At 21, they weren't in the Premier League and doing what he was doing. He is spot on. I have to say, I will say like I said, I like the player. I have to say, I like the player. I just don't get the fee. I don't get the timing. I mean, Colin Cross is in here, and he's in here every morning. So big up, Colin.
Colin's a big fan, we know. Yes.
But he's not only a big fan. It's like when you and me talk about Pape Matar or I talk about Alfie Devine. And people will know when I talk about my boy Alfie, people get bored because I will not stop talking about him. And Colin, it seems, has done his search on Johnson. But we're going to move away from Johnson because there's a certain person in the room and she's not going to be happy this morning. Oh, I've given it away who I'm going to talk to. It's Johnny. No, I'm joking. The big rumours that started breaking yesterday that Manchester United are interested and are pursuing Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, the Danish Terminator. Yeah. And I'm going to come to Ellie first because this is Ellie's Ellie's obsessed with this man. I do not know a big.
I'm behind Ellie all the way. Go on, Ellie.
And I'm not. Yeah, well, Ellie, before you go, I just want to say I think selling him to Manchester United will be the most stupidest thing ever. You do not sell to a rival, especially a rival that will be competing around the European, maybe late if all goes brilliantly, a top 4 push, which I don't think we will, but it could happen. Selling to United has to be one of the most stupidest things that we could do this window. Ellie, what is your thoughts when this news broke?
Well, the first thing I did is book my ticket to Manchester to have a word with Ten Hag. Yeah, I'm on my way after the show. No, seriously though, I think we're a really stupid club sometimes. You've got a player like Højbjerg who can seal up games. He's got all the attributes you need in a midfielder: fight, energy, fantastic passing ability. Much better than Brennan Johnson's, I must admit, if you look at the stats. But I go on the eye, and I see a player who fights for the team. Yeah, and he's a very good communicator, and it's lovely to have him in the dressing room, that experienced head. He's been at Bayern Munich, Southampton and us so far. And I was reading that Ten Hag had him at Bayern Munich too. So he likes the player.
Yeah.
But then I was reading all the comments on Twitter and just the general comments around the football world that Man United fans don't want him. They said, what are we doing as a club when we want Pierre-Emile? Well, you'll be honoured to have him, mates. You'll be honoured to have him. But we don't. I hope they don't sell him. 'Cause like you said, it's a rival. They're going to be rivaling us for that top 5 space. Yeah?
Yep.
So it makes no sense to sell him, right? And he's been fantastic for us. He's been one of our best players, I would say. I'll put my hat on that because if you look at the stats only, he proves it. But my eye test is it gives us everything a midfielder should give us. He can tackle, he fights for the ball, he's got energy, and we played him about 99% of the time, so he had no rest, but he got those boots on, he ran out on that pitch, and he gave it his all. He's not everybody's favourite, because he's not this flashy player that does all the tricks. But what you get with Højbjerg is what you see. Yeah, he'll give everything he's got. Yeah, I'll just feel very disappointed in the club if we're going to sell him, regardless if it's Manchester United or another club. I don't want us to sell him. Full stop.
Well, if we can bring
That's the end of
quality in,
my
Ellie,
rant.
if that was all right, if we could bring quality in, I'm not opposed to it, and I love Højbjerg. But I don't want him going to a Premier League club. I don't want him not to a rival because he'll go there. I just don't get it, Johnny. I'll go to you last because I know you got a bit to say on this. Lewis, your thoughts on the potential sale of Højbjerg potentially to United?
We ain't going to bring no one in. There's no point selling him. All this about selling to a rival to United. Why is United a rival? Who said we're going to get top 5? Who said we're going to get top 6? I told you. I told everyone. There's a man behind Ryan. There's a man behind Ange waiting in the wings to come in January. And he's going to be here as he always is. Right on cue. And his name's Ryan Mason. I'm telling you, come January, Ryan Mason will be in charge. We ain't got no rivals. If he wants to go, let him go. Just bring someone in because Jesus Christ, if we let him go, oh mate, we're only away from Ndombele and skipping the midfield.
Good times. Good times, Lewis. You know you want to see that. Who doesn't want to see a Tanguy and Ndombele Ollie skip midfield too? I mean,
what a pivot.
That
pivot.
I love that word, the good old double pivot. Johnny, off you go because I know you have a lot to say on this.
Look, I know there's a lot of hate for Højbjerg, but it's so misplaced. It's unbelievable, honestly. Yeah, all he does is wave his arms around. Yeah, okay. Look how many crucial goals and assists he got last season alone, right? I mean, honestly, guys, right? He's the guy fighting every game, right? There are players who get a knock. Don't know if I can make it this week, Gov.
Yeah. Where's his heart on his sleeve?
Got a bit of a bruise. Let me tell you something, right? Oh, Sonny. Oh, that's why Son didn't play well last year. He carried an injury. Oh, yeah, but it was okay that Pierre Højbjerg, for the last, I think it was the last 6-7 weeks, was carrying an injury, but we had no one else. And so he took the honour to actually play through it. And so he looked laboured. That's because he was carrying, right? Okay. Look what happened. At both the Man U game and the Bournemouth game. Man United game first. Yes, he made one errant pass before anyone throws that back at me, but he calmed the game down. And against Bournemouth, we were being overrun. That game was changing, right? They were attacking us. Yeah. Suddenly, Højbjerg came on. And the game, we regained control of that game. Why? He took off the kids, right, who were fantastic, but he took off Papa Sarr and he took off Destiny and brought on the wise heads of Perisic and Højbjerg. Højbjerg, 100 games in 2 seasons. You've got to remember, for Denmark, he plays an even more difficult position. He plays more of an attacking position for Denmark, where he scores goals and takes free kicks. He's an organiser. He's a leader. He's a winner, right? That's what you want in your team. You want a team of winners that fight. The other thing I would say is, again, like Brentford used us to pump up Johnson, I think that Man United are doing exactly the same to force down the price of Amrabat, because I don't believe they're going to buy Højbjerg. I think they want Amrabat, but they're just messing around with the price. So if you sell him, well, who are you going to sell him? It's too late in the window now. If you're going to sell him, if you were telling me, right, we're going to sell Højbjerg for 40 million and we're going to bring in Lavia, okay, right? But we didn't.
No, you're right. Listen, do you know what, Johnny? I have to say, this has completely split the
Of course it will.
the
People hate it.
187 people watching. So let's have a look. And I'm only talking to Manchester United. Only to Manchester United. People in the comments, and there is 187 of you with us right now. So good morning to you and thank you for joining us. Just to Manchester United, say yes, sell or no keep. And whilst we go on about this, I'm going to bring out, let's have a bit of fun with this because I don't know if it's fun because I saw a tweet and a quote from Alistair Gold and it scares the crap out of me. Johnny, you know which one I'm about to read.
Yeah,
Let me just find it. Where is it? So it was from Alistair Gold. Okay, and Alistair Gold basically said, and I can't find that. There it is. So this is what he said, and I'm sure people would have seen the tweet. Got a lot of keeps here, I must say. When it comes to a majority are actually keep. Morning, Fran. I hope you're well. Fran, are you going Fulham tonight? Yeah, there's a majority of keep if it's Manchester United, but I'm going to read the tweet I was talking about now. So it says, Adebayo and Schürrle has gone quiet. Makes me wonder whether there is someone else that's suddenly going to come out of the woodwork in the last couple of days. And I have to tell you, when I see that, I'm going to go around and see who you will think that means. But I can tell you one thing. That tweet has got my long lay senses tingling. I am I'm saying it now, and I've been saying it all window, that I don't think this deal is dead by any stretch of the imagination. And if these deals have gone quiet for whatever reason, and one does come out of the woodwork, which one is going to be the easiest one to resurrect? Which is going to be the easiest one to get over the line? Which is going to be the one there's no drama, there's no hassle? And which one is going to be the cheapest option? And I will tell you now, if Clement Longley makes it back at this club, what Lewis just said about Ange not lasting till Christmas, I might not say Christmas would be a bit far, then everything for me, if Longley comes back to this club, and like I said, this is just my thoughts, we're going to go around the table and see what you guys in the comments think. If Clement Longley makes his way back to this club, then it's fairly obvious who's running transfers. It's not the man we think it is. It's not, this is Ange's first choice. This is because I can tell you now, Clement Longley does not fit Ange ball in any way, size, shape, or form. And I'm very concerned that the one out of the woodwork will be Clement Longap. Lewis, what do you think?
I'm not against Clement Longley, I'm being honest. I said it from the beginning. Over Dyer and Sanchez, I'll take Longley all day long.
correct.
Nope.
So, here's what it is. If it comes back out, I'd rather, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I want Longley. I'd rather Tosin. I'd rather Schürrle all day long. But if we ain't going to get him and we ain't going to get anyone else in, let it be Longley. Because we need another centre-half. And I'd rather Longley over Sanchez and Dyer. And anyone that says they'd rather Sanchez, over Longley is absolutely in world cuckoo land. Because they've seen him play one game and he was amazing in pre-season or whatever. Yeah, let's bring him in.
So Lewis, I have to let you know, if it's a choice over Sanchez and Longley, I'm in cloud cuckoo land, as you said. I would rather play Davison Sanchez with a broken freaking leg than have Clement Longley back in the squad. He's got no pace. He can't turn. We're playing a high line. He's part of the worst defence we had in Premier League history. Sanchez is on the last year of his contract. So we either keep him, and at the end of the season he goes. You sign Longley, that's a 2-3 year contract. I
Sanchez
would
falls
take
over his 2 feet.
Stuart Nethercott. I'd bring him back in his current age and play him over Clement Longley. Ellie, what do you think? And wait a minute, before I come to you, Ellie, before I come to you, one thing I'm just going to ask all of you at the end of your thing, Lewis. If there was to be one that is in the woodwork, let's say, as Alistair Gold said, and one was to come out, who do you think it could be? Not want, think.
What, centre half?
Yeah. If like you said, Alistair Gold says, makes him wonder whether there's someone else that's suddenly going to come out of the woodwork in the last
if
couple
it
of
ain't
days.
going to be Clement Longley, then I can see it being someone like Carter Vickers.
Okay, but that makes sense. I'd rather him than Longley. Well, with Ange, won a couple of times. I'd rather Carter Vickers. Okay, Ellie.
Yeah. I was going to just say it's like choosing between Marmite and Semolina, which I both hate. I just think, why are we going so low? Like, with our choices. I mean, Longley, right? He's a decent passer of the ball. I've heard this, yeah, because he is. But that's about it. He hasn't got no pace on recovery. If we get caught, imagine, like, we get caught, he's not going to be able to recover. You saw that at that Manchester City game where he got left for dead, yeah, when they played the ball over him and he couldn't recover because he hasn't got the pace. He can't help that. He can't speed up. That's never going to come in his game, right? He's an intelligent player in terms of the way he passes the ball and, you know, he reads the game quite well, I would say, but he's not the finished article. And with our high line, you need to have pace because you've seen that with Van der Ven, how quickly he is at recovering. That tackle we did against Bournemouth, Longley's not getting there. That player's in on goal and he scored a goal if Longley's there. You see, so I just feel that we're lowering our standards. We've got to go for better. Yeah, and if it is Longley, then the club needs to the club are in cuckoo land. That's what I would say.
People know on that watch this channel what will happen with me and Ben Kaufman if we sell Longley. Let's just say Tottenham on tour will be unmissable streaming. But Ellie, before I go to Johnny, if there is someone in the woodworks, who would you think it could be?
I'm hoping it's tap sober. I'm hoping that deal isn't dead and they're going to resurrect it. Yeah, because that player is the real gravy. We need that type of player. He's got the pace, he's got the strength, he's got the heading ability, he's got everything, he's got leadership. I just hope it's that one. I'm hoping and praying.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ellie, if it's tap sober, first of all, I'll be the first one to come on here and say, well done, Mr. Levy. If it was, I would be the first one to come on here and say it, no problem at all. But yeah, well, that we'll wait and see. Johnny, before I get to you,
well done, and still want to punch
before I get to you, Mr. Box Office, the Professor of Truth and Entertainment is in the building. Big up, Alex, brother. I hope you're good and well, brother. And seeing as you, Johnny, I'm going to give you your quick. Yeah, I can't believe you haven't asked me yet what the scores on the doors are. So, just want to say thank you to the 204 people watching.
Who are the 4?
Mate, who are the 200? It's all good. It's all love.
Come on.
Come on, family. The Tottenham on Tour family are live. Oh, it's gone up to 212 since you said who's the 4.
Come on.
And we're at 68 likes. Come on, people. Smash that like button for the...
Come on, we should at least have halfway the likes.
Exactly. We normally get
Put
50%.
your thumb on that finger.
Johnny?
We've got, obviously, Levy fans in this morning, right? Because they can't press the button. It's free, guys. It's free. It doesn't cost you any money. And if you're new, hit the button to subscribe so you can see more of Brian's rants.
They're coming. They're coming. The longer this window goes on, they're coming.
Right, so let's just quickly go through them, right? Okay. Let's go Sanchez first, okay? Look, I said it right from the beginning. As soon as Ange came in, there's only one player that can play this system, right? And that's Sanchez, okay? In a low block system, he's an accident waiting to happen. One mistake and it's all over. But in a high line, he has incredible recovery pace. And as we've seen in pre-season, in other games, he has incredible pace to get back, to get those blocks in. We've also seen him in situations where Kuti got injured and we thought our season was all over, and he came in and he was faultless, okay? I'm not going to sit here and tell you he's not an accident at times. I'm not going to tell you he's perfect. But what I'm saying here is that he has to be kept if we're not getting a replacement, and get rid of the rest. Right, now let's go on to Longley. Longley, for whatever we think of Clement Longley, right? Okay. Oh, by the way, Davinson Sanchez, £42 million we paid for him. One of the top centre-backs out the Ajax Academy, and he's Colombia captain, just to add that to it as well. Clement Longley, right? 160 games for Barcelona. Not 6, not 16, not 60, 160 games. Okay. He's still only 27 years of age and a French international. Okay. I'm not saying, again, that he is the best player for this club. But if he serves a purpose to be a squad player and comes in, then that's what we've got to do, right? I mean, I'm not going to sit here and tell you he's the answer. But for me, I would take Sanchez, keep Sanchez, and if we're not going to get anyone, and then try to bring through Ashley Phillips, because I know he's only 18 years of age, but he has something special. He is going to be a special player. My favourite, other than Tosin, has always been, my number one has always been Hincapié, right? The Ecuadorian. I absolutely love him, right? Left back, left centre back, brings the ball out. It's not going to happen. I just find it really, really strange that we will spend 50 million on Brendan Johnson. Look, if we didn't sign Brennan Johnson, we would not be in trouble. That's my belief. If we don't sign a striker, backup striker, we could be in trouble. And if we don't buy another centre-back, we could be in trouble. I think we can get by without Brennan Johnson. That's my call.
Okay, so I'm glad you mentioned, because people get your questions in as well, because we're going to talk Fulham shortly, and we'll then go to... but the couple of things I just want to get through. I didn't see the super chat earlier, but it came in, so thank you, Active on Wembley. Out of Johnson or Orban, I'll definitely take the latter. Levy obviously won't go for both. Yeah, there's no way on both. And as much as I want Orban, and I really do, a lot of people here are right with the homegrown quota. With that needs sorting. And yes, we're going to pay over the odds, in my opinion. And yes, this deal will probably get done. But yeah, I completely get where you're coming from. And you just mentioned him, and Jason Andrew said, why hasn't anyone mentioned him? Phillips. I have to let you know, Jason, he just mentioned it. And when we signed him, and I've even put tweets out saying that the year is 2028, and I think Ashley Phillips will be captain of Tottenham Hotspur. I think the guy is a superstar in the making. I think that is one of the, apart from obviously people that have bought for the future, I think he's right at the top of the tree for signings of the season. This kid, I've actually got a fan in Toronto. Not I've got a fan, but there's a Blackburn Rovers fan. A friend of mine in Toronto, and speaks about him very, very highly. And yeah, I think Ashley Phillips is going to be a star.
Left foot, right foot, powerful.
Oh mate, you don't listen. He's 16. He was playing games in the Championship, which is a tough old league. You don't do that, unless you're of that age. But anyway, away from transfers, because we all get stressed out and it's all bloody annoying, and we don't have to deal with this for much longer. We actually have a game tonight. Not only do we actually have a game tonight, I'm going to my first game of the season, because I won't step foot in the Levy Entertainment Complex and sit through that anymore, or be in his entertainment complex. I will go to away games to support the lads and support the manager. And thankfully, I'm going with Ben and Simeon tonight, so we've got a game of football to talk about. Carabo Cup, our road to Wembley for the first time in God knows how long, starts in the second round. of the Carabo Cup at Craven Cottage. Ellie, what's your thoughts on today's game?
Yeah, I think we'll win it. I think we'll win 3-1 as well. I don't think we're going to keep a clean sheet because I saw Fulham against Arsenal. They were very tasty, moved the ball very well. And I don't know how to pronounce his name. Paulina, he's a tasty player. I like him.
He's the best the best DM in the Premier League last season by a country mile. All his stats say double than anyone else.
Yeah. Yeah, why ain't we going for him? You know what I mean?
80 million. They want 80 million, and he's nearly 28. That's the problem.
We could have given them 3 of our dead woods and got him for 50. Right, that's what we're going to play for Brennan Johnson. But I think it's going to be a very good game, open game. I think we're going to win 3-1, and I think Richie might even get his first goal. I hope so. That boy needs something, doesn't he? Because he drops his head as soon as he misses a chance. I was talking on another show yesterday. He should, like great strikers, right? They don't put their head down. They miss chances and they just get on with it. Just get on with it, Richie. Don't put your head down and sulk. He's that type of character. But Postecoglou's got to get that part of his game right. Otherwise, he's gonna fall by the wayside by January. I think he'll be out by January if he doesn't buck up his ideas. I mean, he scored 1 goal for us all last season. For 60 million, 1 goal. That's not a good return, is it? Come on.
It's not. But Johnny, since let's go to you. What's your feelings about tonight?
Fulham the weekend. I mean, okay, the manager's got to sit in the stand because he got another yellow card, and Shirley Bassey got sent off on the weekend. But I don't know about weekend. I think they're a better team than people give them credit for. I think we've got the hardest. Literally, I think we've got the hardest draw of any team in there. I mean, I was thinking we were going to get Eastbourne or some low life team, right, middle of nowhere. Cold night up, go and watch them. I did not expect to get Fulham away. That's probably, as I said, the hardest draw. I think he's got to give squad players a mention, basically. A game. Emerson. Does he give Skip a game? I suppose he'll have to give Skip a game unless he's going to Forest. I'd like to see Solomon give minutes. In fact, I'd like to see Perisic. I'd like to see him play Perisic, Richie, Porro on the other wing, and Lo Celso, Højbjerg and Skip. And then I'd like to see him play Emerson on one side, and Reguilon on the left to give him some minutes rather than Ben Davies. And then I don't see as we got any choice but to play our first choice centre backs. Maybe he'll play Sanchez with Sanchez and Mickey van der Ven. That will be my team.
Okay, Lewis.
I think we'll win, but I don't think it's going to be easy.
I think we'll win. But it ain't going to be easy. As Johnny just said, it ain't going to be easy. I think we'll make a few changes. I think we will make a few changes. I reckon Perisic will start. I reckon we'll probably see Emerson come in now. Højbjerg will come in. Skippy will come in. We'll see the rotation. And then we could try to see the rest of the players, especially Lo Celso and that.
Okay. Okay, so before I give my what I think, thank you, Mark, man. I really appreciate it. 3 minutes ago from Sky Sports Seth, Manchester United have made initial contacts over Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. Tottenham Hotspur are open to the departure if a suitable offer comes in. So it's pretty much what we knew yesterday, but obviously when Seth starts speaking about this, it's gathering pace.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, Brian, and I'm telling you and I'm warning everybody now, right? If you sell Højbjerg and you do not have a replacement, okay, watch it all unfold, because basically what's going to happen is, right, one injury off to the African nations, Papa Sarr, right, and Basuma, and you're going to be left with Oliver Skipp and one-legged Rodrigo Bentancur, right? Because let me tell you, right, it's not going to be easy for him to come back. He ain't going to be coming back till January, kicking a ball. You might as well, it's called self-harming, okay? This is about bringing money in. This is money over sensible football decisions. Football decisions, right? You do not sell until you upgrade. I don't care. Look, I don't think he's a bad player. I think he's a vital squad player, and at times a vital player to come in when you've got injuries. But the only way you get rid is if you have a suitable replacement. And this has got Levy written all over it, as he just said.
Yeah.
For me, I would have to go for Geertruida at Feyenoord, because he's a defensive midfielder. He can play right back and he can play right centre back. So there's a guy who's a utility player. But I'm not having him sold and be sat there between now and January. Those two go off and we're scurrying around trying to find players to put in the middle of the park. No.
This is what we look at. And just so you know, S7, I'll say again, that's from Dharmesh Seth from Sky Sports. The transfer, him and the other guy, I keep forgetting his name. The two main guys, one of them, but this was from Dharmesh Seth.
That's Saleho or whatever his name is, isn't it?
Yeah, I can never say his name even when I've got it in front of me. But yeah, so that come from him, and thank you, Mark, for tagging me in it so I could read that out on the show today. Right, Fulham. I think
I'm just going to say, a message I've had right just now is that it's likely to cost around 25 million, Johnson, right?
25
with the players added in.
Then do you know what? For that,
then that's fine.
For that, bang on. For that, absolutely no drama whatsoever. That
25,
makes
with players, maximum 30, which he is worth. Yes.
Yes. That if that's the deal, then I'm very, very happy with the deal. The whole thing, like I said, I think he's a good player. But getting back,
I'm more upset about Højbjerg, though. I mean, for me, that is just nonsensical.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. But getting back to tonight, I think we'll know a lot if Højbjerg's in the squad tonight. If Højbjerg's nowhere to be seen, I think that might mean see you later. And if he does play, and this rumour is true, it'll be the one game where he picks up an injury. The guy
is outstanding for United. Let me tell you,
he will. But yeah, I saw someone mention, I can't remember, was that they don't want to see wholesale changes. I've got a feeling myself. It's just my opinion. I think there will be. I think the only players that start tonight that started against Bournemouth are Big Vic, Van der Ven, Romero, and Richarlison. That's it. I think we start the game with the midfield that ended against Bournemouth, which includes Højbjerg. But like we just said, if he's not there or he's on the bench, questions will be up. You think there is some pace and truth to this rumour going through. Emerson and Davies at fullbacks, and I think it will be Solomon and Perisic joining Richarlison. I think there is going to be a wholesale, and the good thing, and I'm okay with it. And the thing is, I think this time we're in a position right now with the players we brought in. If we have the players I haven't mentioned on the bench, I think it'll be the first time in a long, long time we can say, do you know what? Every single person on that bench can impact the game in some way, size, shape, or form. There are game changers that can come and get the job done. Johnny, I'll go to you. What do you think of my lineup? And if there's any changes you think that there will be, not that you want, that Ange will do, what would you change to what I said?
I think for harmony, and also I think it's got to be a balance between harmony, seeing players he wants to see in a competitive situation. He has to make changes. I understand people don't want change and all the rest of it. There's only one game a week. But Ange made a really strange comment the other day, which is unlike him. He said, we've got 3 games in a week this week, so I thought it was important that we didn't change the team setup. Sorry? I thought you normally say it the other way around. We got 3 games in a week, so
Yep.
I thought we'd change it up. So I couldn't quite understand what he was saying. Maybe what he was saying was thinking about Fulham, but was talking about Bournemouth. But I think he has to harmony to give hope to other players that get minutes, him to see the team, and knowing this is a hard game against Burnley away coming up. So I think he will make changes. I think there'll be a balance. I'd like to see wholesale changes personally, with, you know, the game winners or the match winners on the bench. So drops on. I think Richie needs to play, but I'm not sure what his mind has gone right now. He's mentally struggling.
Yeah.
Whether or not Ange says, right, I'm going to drop you down and we'll work on you, and then put on a false 9. Perisic has played false 9. Solomon's played false 9. Even Lo Celso has played false 9. So we'll see. I don't want to see Maddison.
Yes, that's one we can't see. That's one we can't see. And I will say, before I go to Lewis for your, and then what I will say is, for me today, I think when I was talking to Ben and Simeon, they've gone in their predicted lineup for Son up top and Richarlison on the bench, and then Richie back for Burnley. And I said to him, I think it's the other way round. I personally think Richarlison's got tonight to try and get on the score sheet, or Burnley will see Son up top and Richarlison on the bench. Lewis, what's your thoughts tonight?
You asked me first.
Oh, did I? Mate, it's been so long and so much has gone on. Okay, that's fine. So
he's asked me twice.
Mate, do you know what? I'm so,
he loves you so much.
Exactly, I'm so enthralled by what you're saying.
I just need the second time to make it interesting, Ellie.
Exactly. So I'm going to we'll do our score predictions. I'll quickly go first because I saw this comment come straight through from a good friend of mine, DJ Green Alert. Does anyone else have the feeling we are going to put 4 or 5 past them tonight? My score prediction is 4-2 to us, obviously. Ellie, what's your score prediction?
I already said it, but I said 3-1.
I'm having a
Come on, Brian, concentrate.
Sorry, I can't hear you. Say it again. I'm going to blame the internet. I'm going to blame my internet, which is working fine since I moved upstairs. Okay, 3-1 for you.
3-1 to Spurs, yeah.
Lewis.
You really asked me, boy. No, I'm only joking.
You know, I might have dementia creeping in.
Deja vu.
I'll go 2-0 Spurs.
All right, 2-0. Johnny?
Oh.
I'm actually Trevor.
Trevor.
I reckon I'm like Ellie, but 3-1, but two later goals, I believe, in the second half when our main guys come on. Look, it's not going to be an easy game, like as Arsenal found out against Fulham.
Yep. Yeah, but Joe, what we did, and we released it last night. Preview, and we actually had a Fulham fan come on, and he said, "You know what? They don't take this cup seriously at all. They don't take this cup seriously at all. Last year they went out to Crawley in the first round, or this time last year. I'm not saying it will be the same again, but obviously their priorities are staying in the Premier League, which they will do. But obviously they said normally what they do is they try and get as many points on the board before the FA Cup and really go for the FA Cup, which I can understand with certain teams thinking that's the cup they want to go for.
We win 4 or 5-0, Ange Mania will go into hyper.
Oh, mate. But this is the thing as well. When I was talking, I mean, we got a lot of people say 1-0s and 2-1s, and big up, Polly. We need to get you on the show at some time and or do something together. It's been way too long. But yeah, what do we? I'm getting scared. I'm getting worried with Adama Traore. And not only Adama Traore, I completely forgot about it until Ben mentioned him. Carlos Vinicius coming back to haunt us. And I have to say, and I'm going to say, I don't know what kind of response I'll get to this. I actually liked Carlos Vinicius. I actually think he wasn't given a fair enough chance. And we all know when Harry Kane was here, doesn't matter who you are, you're not getting a chance. You're not getting your time. Adama Traore, which is another reason why I think Van der Ven plays, regardless of whether it plays at centre-back or he plays at left-back instead of Davies, because of Adama Traore's pace and power. So I think we really see that. But Ellie, what's your thoughts on?
Going to ask you what the score is again, Ellie.
Yeah, have you changed your mind on the score? Your predicted
No, I haven't
lineup.
changed.
Do you know we're playing Fulham? What's your name? And are you?
Yeah, Højbjerg.
Yeah. What's your thought?
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
What's my
What's
name?
your concern? What do you think about? What's your thoughts of Vinicius? And are you worried about the speedster Traore having a worldie against us tonight?
I'm going to be a bit controversial, right? I think
Love
Vinicius is better than Richarlison. I really do. And we
Wow.
got rid of him and we brought in Richarlison, who can't control the ball. His touch is awful and he's not instinctive, right? And he's never been a prolific scorer. But he scored for Brazil. When he plays for Brazil, he's different gravy because he scored 20 and 42.
Yep.
That's good. That's a good return. But I like Vinicius better. I thought he was brilliant. I liked his whole thing like that. Yeah, and he did get a look in because Kane was there, right? And when he did get a look in, that goal he scored against Aston Villa, and he celebrated it like I'm worth a place in this team, you know. But in regards to the match, I think we're going to win it 3-1. I'm a woman of my word. I'll stick by my guns, right? And I think we're going to win 3-1. And I think if Højbjerg plays, I'll be very happy because it might be a sign that he's staying. I hope. Yeah.
Okay. Lewis, Vinicius and Traore. Are they the two danger men for you?
Traore is. Don't know about Vinicius. I think I think our centre halves will deal with Vinicius quite comfortably. To be fair.
Okay, but Adama Traore is a concern to you.
Yeah, it's just his pace. It will, whoever we got at left back is gonna. I don't even think Adogi will keep up with him. Adogi is quick, but Adogi will struggle, and he's really quick. He ain't got an end product on him.
Wait a minute, Jack. I've got to say, what do I think of Tottenham? Brilliant. What do I think of brilliant? Tottenham. That's all right. Thank you for coming in as an Arsenal fan and joining the stream. That's all I've got to say on that. Johnny.
Do you have a Gooner alert?
I don't. Maybe StreamYard should do that. Maybe
Gooner alert.
that'd be a great thing StreamYard would do.
Yeah.
Basically, if Paulinho plays, we're going to struggle in the middle of the park if we don't take it seriously. If he's not in the team, I think we'll be comfortable. He is, in my opinion, the best DM in the Premier League. His numbers were twice as good as any other player. Take that into account. All these players that have gone for stupid money. He is an unbelievable player.
I'm really surprised no one hasn't got him for him, Johnny.
I think it's his age. He's 28, coming up 28. You know, maybe that's the issue. I don't know.
Oh, what's Højbjerg?
28.
28.
Who's
Yeah,
28?
but Spurs aren't going to. Yeah, but hang on. Spurs aren't going to ask 80+ million for him, are they? They're going to ask 30 million for him probably, which I think is pointless because it's like selling. I think Rennes have offered 9 million euros for Sanchez. I wouldn't take it. I wouldn't take it because you can't replace him for 9 million. You know, so what's the point? What is the point?
I've got to say one thing. I've got to say a lot of people. There's a great question from Jay Ashraf, which we're going to deal with afterwards. I have to say this is going to be one of the good things. Like we've seen
the room, Brian.
At the moment, 234.
234. Hello, the 34.
Come on.
You're like a bingo caller, Johnny. You're like a very, very, very.
34. Come in. 34.
It's like you've been a button.
Scores on the doors. What's the likey numbers?
The likey, though, let's have a quick check, and then I've got the likey we're at 234. We're at 109. So thank you for helping us get over the 100
people.
Come on,
guys. Come on.
Up.
Bloody stingy.
So
stingy.
This is going to be an interesting battle, but there's a great question we're going to end off on. And I love this question. I'll go last on this. This is a great question. So, Jay Ashraf, thank you very much indeed, brother. Mm-hmm. Who would you replace Richie with, if you could, from Soldado, Everson, and Radiak? I think that is a fucking cracking question.
I think it's an easy answer.
Yeah, for me, it's an easy one as
well.
Go
on then, Ellie.
I'm going Everson. I loved him. I thought he was a top player. always fighting for the ball. Scored quite a lot of goals for us. The other two, forget it. Soldado, right? He was a good footballer, and in Spain he scored for fun. But when he came to us, he was like a Jaffa cake, weren't he? He didn't score. Yeah.
So you're
Everson all the way.
You're going Everson. All right, Lewis.
Stefan Everson.
And why are you picking him?
Because I think he's the best out of the bunch. I don't get me wrong, Rashak.
Yeah.
Rashak was amazing in the Championship. He was amazing for Derby County, but he was absolute useless for us.
I mean, for me, I'm not. I mean, this is like laughable, right? I mean, good question, funny question, actually.
100%.
No Goldaldo, right? Okay. Gregor Rasiak, probably one of the worst signings in the history of Tottenham Hotspur, and Stefan Everson, who was a decent striker, who was put in a good shift and scored goals. It's got to be a clean sweep, I would have thought.
Yeah.
Listen, I am the stick up for Soldado. I'm not picking him because I think Everson fits the way that Andrew's playing.
Goldaldo.
But mate, listen, I'm coming. I will always have this argument and debate, whatever you want to say with this. When we signed Soldado had scored 25 goals plus in La Liga 5 years in a row, and the way he did that is playing with two up top. They had a combination. He had a teammate up front with him that they clicked brilliantly and they worked brilliantly in a two. We buy him because of our great scouting and go, right, see that you've done that in the Liga and you scored 25 goals in 5 years in a row. That's brilliant. But now you're going to come here and play in a one, and your job is to create the space for the on-rushing midfielders. Why buy a player who scores 25 goals plus playing in a two to then say playing a one? Soldado did not work at Spurs. Soldado was a flop at Spurs, but that ain't on Soldado. That is on the absolute shambolic scouting yet again that we have at this football club. If he had played in a two, if that man had a Teddy Sheringham, a Dimitar Berbatov alongside him, we would be talking about him to this day as one of the best strikers that we've had in recent history. Not saying Harry Kane level or anything. There was no way Soldado was going to work in a one. Never, ever.
Can I just say, Brian, right, on that subject, one you could have thrown in there was a certain Vincent Janssen, right? And let me tell you, Vincent Janssen, right, everyone wanting Gift Auburn because of the goals he scored. Meanwhile, Vincent Janssen's top scorer in the Belgian League.
Sorry, that's fake news, Mr. Post Office.
Vincent Janssen was top scorer in Belgium at the moment, ahead of Gift Auburn. So maybe we should re-sign.
We should get him back.
We should re-sign him.
Yeah, we should bring him back.
I mean,
no one knew who the geezer was 3 months ago.
Yeah.
5 months ago. Watch a couple of YouTube videos, everyone. Yeah, let's get him in. He's young. He scored loads of goals. Yeah, let's bring him in, mate. Yeah.
Vincent Janssen.
Perfect.
Yeah, another one who potentially we'd hung on, couldn't score a goal. You know, in the shadow of Harry, that guy. But listen, like West Ham will be better without Declan Rice. We will be better without Harry Kane. I know it's hard to believe, but that's what I believe.
No,
we are
true,
a team collective. We are even now on Sky News, right? They can't help but talk about Harry Kane. Even on BBC, on Sky, it's without Harry Kane. We are no longer Harry Kane FC. I thought as soon as he's gone, now we won't have to listen to it. But we still are. I don't know how long it's going to be. I reckon it's going to be the whole season of talking about how we progressed without Harry Kane.
There we go. And on that note, I'm going to go around the table as we always do. But just so people know, the 225 people that are in, we do have a game day today. And after a game day, it can only mean one thing. Very next day, it's Anger Management, baby, and it's the Carabo Cup edition. Cockerel Doodle will not be on tomorrow, but Anger Management will be with me and Johnny at 8:50 in the morning, same time, going over what happened today. The show is being loved by so many people, and the participation in it
Even
has been
us,
fantastic.
we even like
Yeah,
it.
we even enjoy doing it. It is. So please come and join us for Anger Management tomorrow. But Ellie, where can people find you, darling?
Yeah, so I'm on with Kate every Wednesday on Just a Girl Loves Spurs, and I'm on with Meta Football TV with Chris every Thursday, and I've just joined Eltel Cockerel as well. Done my first show with him yesterday. Lovely geezer, love him. I love all of them. Kate's my favourite though, I must say.
Oh,
I know
thanks.
it's an exclusive because she's brilliant. She's so funny, right? And her
Oh,
show. If you haven't subscribed to Just a Girl Loves Spurs, please subscribe because she's
agreed.
and it's women in YouTube. There's not many of us. Yeah, there's lots in the chat, but not actually live on people's show. And then you've got me, Ellie Kakaratos. Come on, like I like going on other people's shows. I don't have my own show at the moment. Maybe in the future I might do a Spurs ladies show because I did have one before. But I've got to cover my Spurs ladies because I'm a former Spurs lady myself. So there you go.
are.
Come on, you Spurs.
What position
Exactly.
did you play, Ellie? Sorry.
I was a central midfielder, central attacking midfielder, creator.
You could be the replacement for Højbjerg.
Yeah,
You could be the replacement for Højbjerg.
yeah.
Lewis,
Ellie,
brother.
Different position,
Ellie,
but yeah.
I wanted to ask, do you look at it now and wish that you were playing football now the way the women's game is?
Definitely, because when I was playing, it was like
abuse.
A lot of abuse. Yeah,
ridicule.
Ridicule, abuse, and that was just from the parents.
Right, Lewis. Where can people? First of all, thank you for coming on again, brother. It's always a pleasure, my man. There is Lewis's channel. I was on it last night. I've been on it quite a lot recently, but Lewis is there regular as clockwork. Where can people find you, Lewis, and tell them a bit about Tottenham Hall?
You can find me on Twitter at Lewis Essex #4. You can find me on Tottenham Hall across all socials: TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, all of them. We're on YouTube. Go down and watch it. We've got a show premiere tomorrow, straight after Anger Management at 10 o'clock. Brian Daigle, myself will be on it.
Correct.
We're live every Monday at 8 o'clock. Come over and have a look and have a watch and give us a subscribe if you can, please.
There you go. And you will be seeing Lewis more. Kate, I'll speak to you. I've just seen your message. I will give you a call or we'll speak later on. Johnny, my partner in crime for the morning shows and Anger Management. Where can people find you, sir?
You can find me here, Johnny H32. Oh, it's got
right, so I was just saying good morning,
Johnny
Daniel.
H32. Give me a follow. Don't know what's happened. Elon Musk has got it in for me. I've lost 500 followers in a week. I don't know what happened. So I know people haven't been unfollowing me. So if you get a chance to follow me there. Also, you can find me on my TikTok of Let's Talk Tottenham 32, where my followership is following is going up very quick. Just want to say, love to be part of Tottenham on Tour and Anger Management, and it's great to have all the people that follow us. We feel privileged that we have so many people that come and watch us every morning. And if you're still in the room and it's the first time you're visiting, give us a subscribe button because that helps our channel. And the more subscribers, the more followers, the more likes, I can get myself a microphone and stop sounding like I'm far away. So thanks for everyone for following and for watching.
There you go.
Brian, they can also find me at Twitter because I forgot to mention it. It's Spurs Are Us at Ellie Højbjerg. Come on.
There you go. So guys, listen, that wraps up the Cockerel Doodle for this morning. We'll be back with Anger Management tomorrow. Hopefully Johnny and I will be talking very positively once again. So everyone, please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. And as always, Levy out.